Hei alle sammen, jeg heter Nils, og nå jeg tilbake igjen med norsk historiemateriale, så velkommen til min kanal. Jeg har laget en ny video til dere, og den skal handle om mysteriet om Nils. If I made a mistake and you speak Norwegian, please let me know. Before I start, I want to mention that this is the online video course of the original textbook, The Mystery of Nils. So it's a little bit more than just the textbook, right? So stick around and I'll show you what I mean. So the link to the program is down in the description box, so go click on it if you want to start learning Norwegian. I really want to go to Norway to witness its breathtaking scenery and nature, but due to the coronavirus, yet again, this year my dream to travel to Norway will most likely be put on hold. But that's okay, I mean, it is what it is, and in the meantime, I'll continue learning Norwegian. I'll just bring Norway to me. I've been learning with the Mystery of Nils for a month now, and something that the creator does really well is teach a foreign language with a different approach. He got rid of the boring and silly old dialogues that you usually find in your traditional textbook. You know what I'm talking about. He swapped those out for storytelling. He uses the power of storytelling to teach a language. And honestly, it's really enticing and super fun. Quick little side note about learning with stories. It's a side of language learning that I hadn't really explored until recently, literally until I came across this program. Since the Mystery of Nils is story-based, of course you're going to be learning grammar and vocab, but the story is the focal point, right? So when you were a kid, for example, I'm sure your parents read to you at night, or even at school, your teachers would read tons and tons of books, right? And you weren't worried about what a verb is or how to conjugate verbs, the difference between an adjective or an adverb was, right? All you cared about was the story and the characters. And I've noticed that something really similar has happened to me with The Mystery of Nils. And funny enough, one of our earliest methods of communicating was through listening and telling stories. So it makes sense that I've seen a lot of progress since this program is story-based. The cool thing is that I've been able to draw from my own knowledge and experiences. There's meaning behind everything I read. I'm also emotionally engaged because I want to know what's going to happen in the story. I want to know what's going to happen to the characters. So I always come back really motivated and excited to find out what's going to happen next. Let me show you what I mean. This is what the program looks like, The Mystery of Nils. And I'm going to go ahead and click on chapter 4 because I think it's a good representation of how the rest of the course is structured. So you see here, the first thing we come across is the text. This is chapter 4 of the story, right? What I usually do first is read it and try to understand as much as I can. If there are any words that are new to me, I jot them down, and then I go down to the vocab list, and usually the words I don't know are here and they're defined. Another cool feature is this video right here. So if I click on it, she starts defining the words on the list.
Og skulle, skal, skulle, og gjøre,
and
gjør,
past tense of the
gjorde,
verb.
har gjort, gjerne, og ha, har, hadde, har hatt.
So this is really cool because you actually get to see how her mouth moves and in what position she places her lips to pronounce the words. And then I go back up. Oh, you can even download it. You could download this list to your computer. And all of these vocab words are part of this section of the story. After that, I come back up and listen to the story.
Chapter 4.
Susanne ser på Nils. Hun skuffet. Hva skal hun gjøre med en nisse? Hun vil så gjerne ha en smarttelefon. Hun ser ut av vinduet. Hva skal hun gjøre nå? Leke med nissen? Hun tar Nils i hånda.
Hei.
Sier hun.
I forgot to mention that the vocab is super relevant. Each chapter includes the most used vocab in Norwegian. After I have listened to the audio and read the chapter simultaneously, I go back and listen to it a second time. But this time I only listen to the audio and transcribe what I hear to get some writing practice in. This is what I usually do. I grab my whiteboard, I hit replay, and without looking at the text, I try to write down what I hear. I let the audio play, and after every sentence, I hit pause, repeat the sentence out loud, and write down what I just heard. I keep going once I have finished the whole text. Once I'm done with the chapter, I go back and check what I wrote with the original text. I look for spelling errors and check to see if I have problems understanding a certain word and its pronunciation. I do this because I want to get some active listening in and some writing practice. It would be really great practice to keep a journal in Norwegian and at least write down what I did throughout the day, but I don't even do that in English, so I probably won't do it in Norwegian. But maybe I should start making it a habit. I've heard it's great practice when learning a foreign language. Anyway, that's how I study and make use of the text in this course. The course is well structured and I really like how I build up my vocabulary. For example, vocab words that show up in chapter 2 will continue showing up in chapter 3 and 4 and so on. These words also show up in the grammar exercises. Now let's hit complete and continue, so it saves. So here is a video of sentence structure in Norwegian, and right underneath is the written equivalent of the video. Let me play a little snippet for you.
Norwegian is a pretty simple language when it comes to endings. If you don't believe me, you can go to your local bookstore and purchase a grammar of Spanish or Russian or something like that, and you will see that all these languages are way more complicated when it comes to word endings. But there is one thing in the Norwegian grammar that is a little bit tricky, and it's also pretty important, so we will come back to that again and again, and that is sentence structure. You cannot place all the words in a sentence wherever you want. There are pretty strict rules for that. And
Oh, I wish we could place them wherever we wanted. I'm just kidding. That will just take the beauty away from the language. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So here's another video about definite articles in Norwegian and the document underneath. Geez, I remember I had a hard time placing the article at the end, right? So it's like if you were saying window the, I had a really hard time wrapping my head around this. Let me play a little bit for you.
Norwegian doesn't have a simple translation for the word the. Instead, what we do is that we put an ending to the noun that we are combining with the. So for example, in English, we say the window, and in Norwegian, we would say vinduet. So this ET ending, where the T is not pronounced, by the way, is replacing the English the. Now remember, we have genders in Norwegian. That means the same way that we have 3 translations for the English.
This is the third video in this chapter, and it covers the usage of dere in the indefinite form. And again, like I said, you can find the written equivalent underneath the video. And here is a document on how to present yourself and make small talk. And you can see here that there are a lot of question words, right? Like hva, what, hva heter du, hva gjør du, hvordan går det, hva med deg? You might think, why is this here? But it makes sense because the next video is on question words and the written equivalent underneath.
Norwegian question words start with an HV. The only exception is når, meaning when. And with all these question words starting with HV, we don't pronounce the H. We write it, but we don't say it. So we say hvor, hva, hvem, hvorfor, når, hvor gammel, hvordan. Okay? And
this is embarrassing, but I'll have to admit that when I first started learning, I would pronounce them all with the H. I'll say hva, hvem, hvorfor. Horrible, I know. Exercises, grammar drills. This is my all-time favorite, so let's do one together. Oh, they also recommend that you right-click the link to open a new tab. Okay, so here we have to answer questions, right? So the example says, jeg heter so-and-so, and we have to ask, hva heter du? So let's start the quiz. So here it says, jeg kommer fra, and I would ask, hvor kommer du fra? Yeah, you see, and it's correct. And this says, hun heter blank. So, hva heter hun? Correct. So now let's go back and try a second one. Okay, so here we have to decide whether it's definite or indefinite. Okay, so this is more of a multiple choice. So, Nils er en nisse. Okay, yay. Susanne er ikke glad i nissen. Okay. Hun vil gjerne ha en telefon. Men blank koster mye. Men telefonen koster mye. But a phone costs too much, or the phone costs too much. Men en telefon koster mye. Yes. Susanne ser ut av vinduet. Right? So you get it. Isn't this really fun? So those are the exercises. I'm not going to click on all of them or go through all of them. I just wanted to show you a little preview. And once you're done with the exercises, you can always come back and do them again if you want to get a complete score, if you're super competitive. And remember to always hit complete and continue so all your progress and your work saves. These are the audio exercises, which are also downloadable, right? So you don't have to be logged in to listen to them. You can listen to them while you're working out, taking a shower, or maybe right before you go to sleep. So let's do one together.
Exercise 2. Put in ikke and repeat the whole sentence aloud. Susanne er glad.
Susanne er ikke glad.
Susanne er ikke glad.
Right, and you see the answer is given to you.
Hun vil ha en smarttelefon.
Hun vil ikke ha en smarttelefon.
Hun vil ikke ha en smarttelefon.
So you can always check your work.
Jeg kommer fra Norge.
Jeg kommer ikke fra Norge.
Jeg kommer ikke fra Norge.
So again, you see all of these examples are pulled from the story. Brilliant. It's the best thing ever. And again, once you're done, hit complete and continue. Okay, so this is an extra list of vocab words that you will again come across as you continue through the program. So yeah, once you're done with the chapter, hit complete and you go on to the next one. And just to show you, here are the other chapters, and I believe, let me scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a total of 26 chapters in the first level. Something that I really enjoy about this program is that everything comes together. The videos and the story are connected. You know, they don't come up with new grammar concepts or new words that have nothing to do with the chunk of the story that I just read. So in this chapter we covered question words, definite articles, the use of dere in its indefinite form, and sentence structure in Norwegian. And these 4 concepts, I'm somehow familiar with them because I was exposed to them by reading the chapter, right? I am exposed to them. And I just love how everything is connected and it all makes sense. I find this really brilliant and I simply love it. There is also a course curriculum if you want to know exactly what you will be learning in every single one of the chapters, and you can find it on their homepage. Since the program is online, you can literally log on whenever you want to, whenever your little heart desires. You can log on at 10 p.m. or even at 3 a.m. in the morning if you're having trouble sleeping because you want to know what's going to happen to Nils and Susanne, right? It's all based on you and how much you stick to the program and how consistent you are. That's the only way you're going to see progress, right? And I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to put the book down because for me at least, I want to know what's going to happen next. So that's all for this video. I hope that it's useful, that it will help you in your language learning journey, and I hope that I motivated you in some way, shape, or form to continue learning Norwegian or to start learning this amazing and beautiful language. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already for more language learning content. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below and I will be more than happy to get back to you. I also left the link to the Mystery of Nils online program in the description box, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding it. Jeg håper dere har det hyggelig å lære norsk. Tusen takk, og vi ses i neste video. Ha det bra!